Chapter 10, Male-Female Differences. Until the male recognizes the female's God-given strengths, he will be weak in those areas because she is designed to supply what he lacks. God created men and women with perfectly complementary designs. The male is perfect for the female, and the female is perfect for the male. It is when men and women expect each other to think, react, and behave in the same ways. That is, when they don't know or appreciate their God-given differences, that they experience conflict. Yet, when they understand and value each other's purposes, they can have rewarding relationships, and they can blend their unique designs harmoniously for God's glory. One of the greatest problems I have seen while counseling couples is that husbands and wives don't realize the needs of their spouses are different from their own. Remember the principle that purpose determines nature and nature determines needs. If a woman wants to help a man fulfill his purpose, she must learn his nature, how he functions, and what his needs are. She can't give him what she needs because his needs are often different from hers. Consider this illustration. You fill up your car's gas tank with gasoline so that it will run. However, you don't pour gasoline on your plants to make them grow. Each entity needs to be given what is appropriate for its own nature and needs. The same principle holds true for males and females. Males and females have perfectly complementary designs. Sometimes I hear men say, "I don't need a woman." These men fail to realize that women are designed to benefit them. Recall that when God created the world, He said that everything was good except for one thing. It is not good for the man to be alone. I will make him a helper suitable for him. Genesis 2:18, emphasis added. When God created man's helper, He made her as strong as the man so that she can help him. We have to appreciate the fact that males and females have different strengths and that each can't fully function without the other. There are some strengths that God has given the female that the male does not possess. Until he recognizes the strengths God has placed within the female, he will be weak in those areas because she was designed to supply what he lacks. The distinct nature of men and women. The need for respect lies at the core of a man's self-esteem. I'm going to repeat that. The need for respect lies at the core of a man's self-esteem. In this chapter, we'll explore the major differences between men and women in the way they think, act, and respond so we can better meet one another's needs and work cooperatively to fulfill God's purposes again. These differences are not right or wrong, better or worse. They are just different. Keep in mind also that these are general tendencies. Some of these qualities may be manifested in either males or females depending on how God has gifted them to fulfill their individual purposes. Number 1, differences in primary needs. The primary needs of males are number 1, respect, number 2, recreational companionship, and number 3, sex. The primary needs of females are number 1, love, number 2, conversation, and number 3, affection. The male needs for respect. A man doesn't just desire respect, he needs it. It is part of his nature as a leader, protector, and provider. The need for respect is at the core of his self-esteem, and it affects every other area of his life. More than anyone else, a wife can meet her husband's needs for admiration and respect by understanding his value and achievements. She needs to remind him of his capabilities and help him to maintain his self-confidence. She should be proud of her husband, not out of duty, but as an expression of sincere admiration for the man with whom she has chosen to share her life. A single man needs respect as much as a married man. He needs the sisterly affirmation of female relatives and friends if he is to feel fulfilled as a man. A female needs for love. God created the female so that male would have someone with whom to share earthly love. To love means to cherish and to care for, because she was created for the purpose of receiving love. A woman doesn't just desire love, she truly requires it, as much as a man needs to know that he is respected. A woman needs to feel that she is loved. A woman wants to feel that she is important and special to her husband. When a man spends time with a woman, it makes her feel cherished because she knows she comes first in his life. She feels cared for when he goes out of his way to make sure she has everything she needs. Receiving love is a woman's greatest need. If a woman is single, receiving love is still her greatest need. Male relatives and friends can meet her need by showing brotherly love through acts of kindness, companionship, and assistance during life difficulties. God affirmed these primary needs in Ephesians 5:33. Each one of you husbands also must love his wife as he loves himself, and the wife must respect her husband. The male's needs for recreational companionship. It is a man's competitive or territorial nature that leads to his need for recreational companionship. He needs to be involved in challenging activities, and although he likes to win, he also desires to share these experiences with others. Nothing blesses a man more than when a woman is involved in his favorite recreation. If a wife participates in what her husband enjoys doing, playing tennis, visiting historical landmarks, playing an instrument, or designing computer programs, for example, and lets him tell her all about them, she can strengthen her relationship with him. He will feel good that she is involved with him in his interests. When a couple shares important aspects of their lives with one another, they build understanding, companionship, and intimacy in their marriage. The female need for conversation. Because males have a leadership mindset, sometimes their conversations with their wives amount to instructions rather than a give and take dialogue. A woman desires to have a man talk with her, not at her. Some men say, "What am I going to talk about with my wife?" They don't realize that a woman has a need to express herself and therefore has much within her that she wants to share. The man can fulfill a woman's need for intimate conversation by continually making a point to communicate with her. To truly meet her needs, he should talk with her at the feeling level and not just at the knowledge and information level. She needs him to listen to her attitudes about the events of her day with sensitivity, interest, and concern, resisting the impulse to offer solutions. Instead, he should offer his full attention and understanding. A man should conduct his end of the conversation with courtesy and openness, telling her what he really thinks and feels. A male needs to share his interests, and a female needs conversation. These related needs can be a wonderful bridge of communication between men and women. The male needs for sex. As we saw in the previous chapter, the male is almost always ready sexually. A man's needs for sex is one of the strongest needs imaginable. It is an aspect of his makeup that gives him greatest fulfillment. Therefore,